Your phone buzzes. You feel it before you even hear it. Your hand moves before your brain finishes the thought. You already know it's probably nothing important. You check it anyway. This isn't a willpower problem. It isn't a generational problem. It isn't even a technology problem. The real answer is far stranger. What's actually happening inside you right now is a survival system that is over 1 million years old, and it has no idea what a phone is. To understand it, you have to go back. Not decades, not centuries, millennia upon millennia, to a small band of early humans moving across an open grassland in what is now East Africa. Life out there was not gentle. Predators watched from the tall grass. Rival groups competed for water. A single unexpected sound, a rustle, a shadow, a shift in the wind, could mean the difference between another sunrise and no sunrise at all. So the human brain developed something remarkable. It developed an obsession with new information. Anthropologists call this orienting response. When something changes in your environment, your attention snaps toward it automatically, before you even consciously decide to look. You don't choose this. Your nervous system chooses it for you. It happens in a fraction of a second, faster than thought. Why would evolution build this in? Because the humans who noticed change survived. The ones who didn't often didn't get a second chance. Over hundreds of thousands of years, this reflex was carved so deeply into your biology that it became automatic, permanent, non-negotiable. Now here's where it gets strange. Your brain doesn't just want information. It wants information because it might be useful for survival. And back then, almost anything new could be. A new sound might mean danger. A new visitor might mean opportunity. A new resource might mean the difference between hunger and a full stomach. Uncertainty itself became something your brain was built to resolve immediately, whenever possible. This is where a researcher named Robert Sapolsky, a neuroscientist who has spent decades studying stress and behavior in primates, made a discovery that changes how we understand your phone completely. Sapolsky found that dopamine, the brain chemical most people associate with pleasure and reward, doesn't actually spike when you get something good. It spikes in anticipation of finding out. The chasing matters more to your brain than the having. Think about that for a second. Your brain isn't rewarding you for the good news in the text message. It's rewarding you for the moment just before you know what the text message says. This single mechanism explains an enormous amount about modern life. Because your phone, unlike almost anything your ancestors ever encountered, is a near-perfect delivery system for uncertainty. Every notification is a tiny, unresolved question. Who texted you? What did they say? Did someone like your photo? Did your comment get a reply? Your ancient orienting response, the one built to scan the grassland for danger and opportunity, fires off exactly the same way it did 300,000 years ago. Except now it fires 50, 80, sometimes over 100 times a day. You are not weak for reaching toward it. You are, in a very real sense, doing exactly what your biology has trained you to do for your entire existence as a species. But there's a second layer to this, and it's even stranger than the first. Humans are not solitary animals. For nearly all of human history, survival depended on the group. Being cast out of your tribe wasn't an inconvenience, it was often a death sentence. No protection from predators, no help finding food, no one to share the burden of raising children. Because of this, your brain evolved an intense, almost desperate sensitivity to your social standing within the group. A psychologist named Naomi Eisenberger ran a now-famous study using brain imaging to look at what happens when people experience social rejection. She found something startling. The brain regions that activate during social exclusion, the anterior cingulate cortex among them, are largely the same regions that activate during physical pain. Being left out doesn't just feel bad. To your ancient brain, it registers as a threat to your survival, processed by some of the same circuitry as a physical wound. Now think about what a like, a comment, a follow, or a reply actually represents to that part of your brain. It isn't just a number on a screen, it's a signal, however small, that you are still accepted, still seen, still safe within the tribe. And the absence of that signal, silence, no notifications, an unanswered message, can register as something closer to social danger than most people realize. Your phone didn't create this need. It found the oldest, deepest wiring you have and built a door directly into it. There's a third piece to this puzzle, and it comes from a completely different kind of research. In the 1950s, a psychologist named B.F. Skinner ran experiments with pigeons and a simple lever. When the lever delivered a food pellet every single time it was pressed, the pigeons pressed it occasionally, whenever they were hungry. But when Skinner changed the pattern so the lever only delivered food unpredictably, sometimes after one press, sometimes after 20, the pigeons pressed it obsessively, constantly, even when they weren't hungry at all. This is called a variable reward schedule, and it turns out to be one of the most powerful behavioral patterns ever discovered. Predictability makes a behavior feel optional. Unpredictability makes it feel compulsory. Your phone runs almost entirely on variable rewards. You don't know if the next scroll will show you something boring or something fascinating. You don't know if the next check will reveal a message or nothing at all. That not knowing is exactly what keeps your thumb moving. It is the same mechanism, dressed differently, that kept Skinner's pigeons pecking a lever long after they'd stopped being hungry. So picture it all together now. An orienting reflex built to scan for danger and opportunity on an open grassland. A social alarm system built to detect exclusion as though it were physical pain. A reward circuit that responds most powerfully not to certainty, but to the space just before certainty arrives. None of these systems were built for a screen. They were built for survival on a landscape that no longer exists. But the systems themselves never got the memo. They are still running, right now, inside you, exactly as they were designed to run. Is this a flaw? It doesn't feel that way from the inside, does it? It feels like curiosity. It feels like connection. It feels like staying informed. That's precisely what makes it so effective. It isn't hijacking a weakness, it's activating a strength that once kept your ancestors alive, now aimed at a device that never runs out of new things to show you. Here's the part that should genuinely unsettle you. Your ancestors' environment had natural limits. Only so many sounds. Only so many strangers. Only so much new information could arrive in a single day. Eventually, the grassland went quiet, and the orienting reflex had nothing left to respond to. It could rest. Your phone has no such limit. There is always another notification, always another post, always another unresolved question waiting just past the lock screen. The ancient system built to rest once the environment settled down now lives inside an environment engineered, deliberately, to never settle down at all. So the next time your hand drifts toward your phone before you've even decided to pick it up, understand what's actually happening. You're not failing at self-control. You're not weak-willed or broken or uniquely undisciplined. You are a member of a species that survived for hundreds of thousands of years by paying close attention to sudden change, by fearing exclusion as much as injury, and by chasing uncertainty wherever it appeared. That inheritance kept your ancestors alive on the grasslands of East Africa. Today, it's just being aimed somewhere new. Tonight, your phone will buzz again, and your hand will move before your brain finishes the thought. Only now, you'll know exactly why.